The Rolling Stones were present during the meteoric rise of the Liverpool band The Beatles into the charts at the beginning of the 1960s. At some point, the band from London started to question what they were doing wrong, and they eventually decided to ask for assistance. The catchy tunes of the Beatles had reached number 1 and 2 peaks on the singles charts in the United Kingdom, whereas the Stones had just about managed to make their music take off. Mick Jagger eventually approached John Lennon and Paul McCartney with a request for assistance. Additionally, on this day, October 7, 1963, the songwriting team of John Lennon and Paul McCartney was responsible for writing the song I Wanna Be Your Man for the Rolling Stones. In 1963, Lennon recounted being transported to Kingsway Sound Studio in London in order to provide assistance to the rockers. According to what he stated, Brian and a couple of other guys took us to the club in Richmond where the Stones were performing so that we could interact with them. Because they requested a song, we went to see them in order to find out what kind of activities they were participating in. The members of the Rolling Stones. We had a song that was not yet done, and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were aware of this fact. This was the sole scripture that Paul had, and we needed anything else or just another verse. According to the famous member of the Beatles, McCartney's lick was the song I Wanna Be Your Man. During their time in the room with the band, John Lennon and Paul McCartney performed a song by the Rolling Stones that was not yet complete. While everyone else in the room was still talking, John Lennon and Paul walked to a corner of the room and finished the song together. When John Lennon came back, Mick and Keith were encouraged to write songs as a result of his return. What they do is simply go to the corner, write it down, and then return. We achieved success right in front of their very eyes. However, after a number of years had passed, Lennon no longer enjoyed listening to the song. On the contrary, he regarded it as a song that was not deserving of being recorded and distributed by the Beatles as one of their songs. Indeed, he confessed that the only way it could be considered satisfactory was if it was played by Ringo Starr, the drummer for the Beatles. When asked about the song in 1980, he stated, "It's a throwaway song." The song is only available in 2 different renditions, both of which were performed by Ringo and the Rolling Stones. That is evidence of how significant we consider it to be.